She did it on purpose. That's what they said. Not publicly, not on camera, behind walls. In rooms where the doors don't have handles on the outside. She did it on purpose, and honestly after what I'm about to tell you. You might agree January 31st, a Friday. Nothing special about it. Cold morning in Santa Barbara, school buses running. Parents dropping off kids, everything normal. Except two chairs were empty, Archie's chair, Lilibet's chair. No call from their mother, no email, no transfer request. No explanation, just gone. The school administrator waited an hour, then two, then she did what anyone in her position would do. She filed a report, short, clinical, subject line read, no show immediate concern. She probably thought it would go to a local office. Maybe a welfare check, maybe a phone call. She had no idea that report would cross an ocean in 6 hours. And by the time it landed on a desk inside Windsor Castle, it had already lit a fire that no one could put out. Now here's the thing about the royal family. When something goes wrong, really wrong, they don't scream. They don't call press conferences. They don't post on Instagram, they go quiet. And when the palace goes quiet, that's when you should be afraid. February 2nd, Sunday, Windsor Castle, 7 a.m, still dark outside. A black Range Rover pulled through the east gate. No escort, no driver, Princess Anne was behind the wheel. And that detail matters, because Anne only drives herself when she doesn't want anyone else in the car. When the conversation she's about to have is the kind you don't rehearse. You just deliver. She walked into the private study carrying one folder, red, thin, marked across the top in black ink, immediate custodial breach. King Charles was already seated, tea untouched. Glasses on, waiting, and placed the folder in front of him. Didn't sit down, didn't soften anything. She said, "You need to read this before William arrives." Charles looked at her, not at the folder, at her. And in her eyes he saw something he hadn't seen in years. Not anger, fear. He opened it, page 1. Archie and Lilibet withdrawn from school, no forwarding address, no enrollment anywhere else. No spring plan, just silence, page 2. Cancelled pediatric appointments, 3 of them, stretching back weeks. Each one quietly removed from the calendar without a word to anyone on the UK liaison team, page 3, communication blocked. Meghan's legal team had sent formal notices to royal education and welfare officials. The message was simple: stop calling, stop writing, you are no longer relevant. Page 4, a financial record, £3 million, a trust fund. Set up by Charles himself for Archie and Lilibet's UK education, dissolved, the money moved, redirected into a holding account tied to a company no one in the palace had ever heard of. And page 5. Page 5 was the one that changed everything. A signed agreement between Meghan and a media financier based in Dubai. The terms were clean, precise, almost surgical. Erase all prior family ties, remove all royal references, rebrand, rebuild, launch solo. Not a custody dispute, not a negotiation, a disappearance. Charles closed the folder, and for a long time, nobody said anything. William arrived at 9 a.m. He'd been in Manchester, mid-speech at an economic summit. 200 people in the room, cameras everywhere. His phone buzzed in his pocket. He ignored it, it buzzed again. He glanced at the screen under the podium. One word from Anne, Windsor, no context, no explanation, just that. 12 minutes later, he was in a car. No goodbye to the hosts, no statement to the press. His team scrambled, reporters noticed. But by the time anyone asked a question, he was already gone. They handed him the red folder in the same room. He sat down, read it slowly, page by page. His face didn't change, not once. That's what unsettled everyone, the stillness. He got to page 5, read it twice. Put the folder down, 30 seconds of silence. Then he looked at Anne and said 5 words. This is about the children, not Meghan. Not Harry, not the tabloids, not the PR war, the children. And everyone in that room understood the conversation had just changed, permanently. Within 2 hours, Duchess Sophie of Edinburgh was on a secure call with the Crown's Child Welfare Council. Emergency custodial safeguard protocols were activated. For the first time in modern royal history, the monarchy prepared to invoke structural guardianship over two minors. Not to punish a parent, to prevent two children from vanishing. At 10:20 a.m., William walked into the royal legal chamber. He didn't hesitate. He invoked Appendix 4 of the Royal Succession Stabilisation Act, a clause that hadn't been touched since the days of Edward VII. The council vote was unanimous. And just like that, a line was drawn, the kind you don't step back over, the kind that doesn't care about public opinion or magazine covers or Netflix deals. The kind that says, these children belong to something bigger than any one person's ambition. Three things happened next: fast, quiet, irreversible. First, passports. Archie and Lilibet's international travel documents were frozen. No child could leave UK jurisdiction without dual authorization from Princess Anne and the Crown's Child Welfare Council. Not Meghan, not Harry, not any lawyer in California. Two signatures, both royal, no exceptions. Second, the image shield. Under the Windsor Privacy Act of 2023, all commercial use of the children's names, faces, and likenesses was locked for 5 years. Every brand deal, every thumbnail, every product pitch dead. Third, money, but not the kind you'd expect. Prince William authorised a £12 million trust. Not for lawyers, not for PR, for recovery. Private education, emotional support, therapy, stability, the kind of things children need when the adults around them have forgotten what matters. This wasn't a press strategy. This was a wall built overnight. Made of law, money, and silence. And then the letter arrived, not from William, not from Charles, not from Anne, from Edward, Prince Edward, the quiet one. The one nobody writes headlines about. The one who handles the things the family doesn't want fingerprints on. He sent it by royal courier. 1 page, handwritten, approved by King Charles. The message was simple. Custody, guardianship, and protection of Archie and Lilibet now falls under Crown protocol. If Harry wishes to visit ... conditions will follow. No negotiation, no discussion, no loophole, done ... Meghan's legal team responded from California within hours. Their argument was technical, cold, almost dismissive. UK custodial interpretations, they said, hold no binding power under American family law. They were right on paper. But they underestimated one thing. Anne, within hours, she coordinated with the Foreign Office to activate a clause from the post-Brexit Windsor Convention, a bilateral family protection measure designed for one purpose: emergencies involving royal children abroad. February 3rd, the document was signed. 3 signatures: King Charles III, Prince William, Princess Anne, triplicate, sealed. The Crown assumed primary custodial guardianship. And then ... quietly ... without cameras, without fanfare, without a single headline. A private jet landed at Santa Barbara Airport. Its mission had a name: Operation Dandelion ... Now, while all of this was happening in legal chambers and sealed corridors ... Meghan was somewhere else entirely, a boat, in Doha, champagne in hand, sitting beside a Middle Eastern media executive whose name has never been made public. She looked relaxed, free, like someone who had already moved on. The photographs were beautiful, sunlight, water confidence, but inside Windsor ... Those same photographs were placed into the file, not as gossip, as evidence. Evidence of a mother who was 7,000 miles away. While her children's lives were being rewritten without her ... The palace had received something else by then. A confidential briefing prepared by Princess Catherine. And this one ... this one was different. It wasn't legal language, it wasn't financial records. It was about the children, directly, personally. Archie had gone quiet at school. Not misbehaving, not acting out, just ... silent, the kind of silence teachers notice. The kind that gets flagged. A withdrawal so steady and so deep that his school counsellor had written 3 separate reports in 2 weeks. And Lilibet was having night terrors, waking up screaming. Drawing pictures that made her caretakers uncomfortable, dark images. Shapes that didn't belong in a 4-year-old's world, fear on paper. In crayon, Catherine had compiled all of it. Every report, every note, every flag, she sent formal notices to Meghan's team, requesting a response, requesting acknowledgement, requesting anything. Nothing came back, no signature, no reply.